Howdy, howdy, howdy. Ain't spoke to you folks in a while. It's cold and nipply out here. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to go down to 10 below zero tonight. I left the loader run. That's my 4th load today. Just me and Jess working. That's pretty good. But that's my buddy Joe Delp's truck. They're hauling this job, which is great. But that truck, and that's his cousin Scott driving. Good kid, good guy. He actually works with my, in the summer months, he works with my son at the concrete place. You know, they do whatever, driveways, sidewalks, commercials, concrete and stuff. But anyway, this truck is a glider. I did a video with these trucks years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago when he first put them together. He's got 2 of them. One's got a loader, one don't. I don't know if you can hear that thing. Alright, so get a load of this. This truck is pushing 850 horsepower to the wheels. It's a glider, it's a cat, what is it, the CNC block or whatever, the old mechanical block. Well, it's common rail, but listen to this thing. Oh, a real truck. Yeah, there ain't no, that took a Mexico and took a trip to Mexico and all that emissions crap fell off it. But no, I mean, it's legal, it's a glider. But wow. Yeah, 850 horsepower. It's pretty impressive. I just love the tone of it. I don't know whether he's got mufflers on it or it don't sound just straight pipe. It must have like at least resonators or something on it. It's got big pipes on it. It just sounds good though. Some of them sound cackly. But this thing just all throat, you know? Boy, is it nice. she puts out a little bit of the coal. Yeah, plant food I call it. Man. What an impressive truck. It's just following on the back roads. It's like following an automobile. You don't slow down a bit. I'd imagine you'd have to be pretty delicate on the pedal if you were in, you know, spinning or in like stone or something like that where you could rip stuff up. Boy, 850 horse. Can you imagine? I mean, the International I got, it's 500. I mean, it runs good. Yeah, it ain't a hot rod, but it runs, holds good, runs good. I can't imagine. Listen to that. Listen to that. I don't know if you guys can hear that thing spooling on, but man, I'll tell you what, it is impressive. So we're going through the big old city here of New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. See what it is on the thermometer over here. They have a thermometer. Some folks call it a thermometer. A thermometer. Yeah, 14 degrees right now. Look at that. Pouring a coal. You know, it's a lot darker. This camera must be picking up. Must be in dark mode or something. I don't know, because it seems a lot darker looking out at the truck than it does on this screen. Must be gathering ambient light. Yes. So this is called the Red Bank Valley. That's Red Bank Valley High School. So the river over here to our right, call it Red Bank. Red Bank Creek. It's actually a pretty good sized river. This valley is prone to flood. Back in '96 there was a flood down here and we'd have been about 6 or 8 foot of water right here. This whole valley flooded. There's a high water mark down here in a building. I'll show you if it'll show up. Here's the river. It's getting iced up. Looks like Alaska. Right on this building over here. I don't know if you can see it or not. So yeah, see those white high water marks? That's where the water was. So like I said, we'd have been probably 7 or 8 foot of water right now, and it flooded that whole plain over there. Yeah, it was bad stuff. Every once in a while, they say 1 in 100 years, you know, 100-year flood. Oh, I can get this thing. It's cold, but I want to leave the window down so you can hear it. Boy, that thing sounds good. Boy, does she run. Look at that. Don't even shift the gear, and that's a steep little pinch right there. That is a caterpillar. Caterpillar. Wumba wumba. Yeah, that's just a joyful noise right there. I like that. Sounds good though, doesn't it? It doesn't sound like cackly. It sounds nice and throaty. It looks like a black tornado. I like it. Yeah, that's a nice truck. So anyway, that's what we're doing down here, down yonder in the little town, little area called Seminole. Just a few miles, 4 or 5 miles below New Buffalo. Which it's great for me. It's 17 miles back to the house, so I love it. And I've got little grandson coming over tonight. He's bunking, staying over at camping out at Mammy and Pa's. So I can't wait to see that little sweetheart. He's just a joy to have around. That kid, he's a blast. So anyway, I haven't made a video, and everything's been so hectic and broken and just driving me nuts. But whatever. My dozer took a little digger on me. The track, the other day it was real loose. I was pumping it up. I'll tell you that story. I gotta tell you that story. I'll do a story time. You guys won't believe that one. How stupid that was. I don't know how I can be so stupid sometimes. Even find my way home. Wow. So anyway, let me make sure this thing's still running. Yeah. I'll tell you a little quick story. So the other day, I had that flu. I didn't work Tuesday, and that's very, very, very seldomly I take a day out. And last time I took a day off was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, the first time I had that COVID. I worked with it for all week, and then I think Friday I took off. But anyway, I had the flu, I guess, on a stomach thing, and then it just aches and pains and fever. I ended up sleeping a bunch Tuesday, and I still feel a little under the weather, but I'm getting over it. But so Jesse was working on. We found our oil leak too on that 608. It ended up being a little plug, the little timing plug that fell out. cover of that Cummins engine. But anyway, so he was working on that, fixing that up. So I says, well, I'm going to take the dozer down. And I had 3 or 4 big trees. I had cut them with the cutter, but they were steep, and it was just hard to get them up out of there. So I'll go down and try out my new log arch, you know. And Jesse had tried it a week or so ago. He said it worked good, but I wanted to try it. I get down there and my controls were all frozen. You know, they're like a Morse cable control. So they're just from, it had been warm and condensation and frozen, whatever. Right, no big deal. I was pissed. I'm like, ah. So I dead hooked the one log, got it up the lane, and got it unhooked. So I go over and I park it inside of my truck here, and I gotta get me another propane. Somebody grabbed my little propane torch. I don't know where it went, but so instead of hooking up my saddling and all, I was like, I'll just take a blue towel, you know, one of these grease towels, you know, whatever, hand towel roll, blue towel, and I rolled it up like a little torch. I lit it, and I just held it up under that controller that holds the cables, and I warmed it up. You can see the ice come out, you know, the frost come out of it. So I did it again with another one, and I'm watching real carefully because there's grease and leaves and stuff at the bottom, you know, of the dozer. So I don't want to start a fire, obviously. So I was very conscientious of that. I guess not enough. So I looked around, everything's good. I pulled the handles, are all free, the cable's working, right? I said, all right, you know, it engaged, disengaged, powered in, powered out. The free spool was working. I didn't have any issue with that. So anyway, I get that done. I run around and I'm digging at the track there, and I get a hole made in the frozen mud. Take the little cover off from my track, you know, to grease it, you know. I used to have a remote hose on it. I don't know. Ever since I've had it, you got to take the cover off, which is fine. So I do that. I grease my track up, and it was extremely loose. And I'm looking at it. I wonder if the idler's bearings going out of the idlers, the front idler, and see it moving a little bit. I know, it must be, but it'll get by. I'll tighten it up, and it'll be all right, you know, for now. And I have assumed that the grease seals in the hydraulic cylinder in there that pumps the grease cylinder that pumps the track up, probably the seals are getting bad. So I'm over there doing that. I put the grease gun away. I get that done. Put my tools away. Blah blah blah. About 15 minutes go by. I jump up in the cab to go head back down in the woods. I look, and I got flames coming up through where the winch controller mounts. Like, not big flames, but I mean I can see fire and smoke. And I'm like, oh my freaking word! I grab the fire extinguisher and run out on the track, open the door, and put it out. It wasn't a big fire, but it was big enough to burn the insulation or the coating off of my cables that control the winch, and it melted. It went up underneath that metal, it's like a sheave that holds the cables, and then there's like a plastic joystick thing in there that the cables ride in, or like there's plungers, and then the Morse cables thread into them. And so it melted them enough so it wouldn't work. It deformed them enough. So I took it apart and I shaved it down, cut the melted stuff off with a knife. Oh my friggin' word. So anyway, I got it to pay out, but it won't pay in. So I guess I gotta get a new control unit for it. But oh my god, just the stupidest thing. I mean, you know, and it wasn't like I didn't give it any thought. I did. I really looked around good. You know, I should have took a bottle of water and just washed everything down. But I didn't see any smoke, and I looked at it for a minute. You know, thought, okay, everything looks good. And I jumped up in the cab and checked the cable was free, and I thought, oh, good. So I never gave it a thought. It worked on the track situation. Well, I found out what was wrong with the track. Jesse took it down to build a little ramp. Really expected somebody running around the middle of the road down here. Alright. What's this guy doing? Oh, he hit a deer. Poor guy hit a deer. Oops. Oh yeah, there it is. Smashed his car all up. Poor bastard. Yeah, that's the joys of living here, boy. You better have good deer coverage, because you smash your car up every other minute. You're beating into deer. But anyway, so Jess took the dozer down, and we had this about 3 or 4 hours to finish this wet area. And being so cold at the house is great. We get it done, you know. And make a plan. You know, make a plan in one hand and shit in the other, and see which fills up quicker. So he takes the dozer down in there, and comes walking up a little while later. I was cutting logs up, and comes walking. I said, "What's up?" He said, "Oh, that track is loose. It almost come off." I said, "Really?" I said, "There's something wrong, and there's got to be that grease, you know, cylinder just don't hold grease at all." Which it was leaking off fairly slow. It would take it, you know, a couple of weeks. You'd have to add grease. So I was like, ah, shit. So we go down there to try and pump it back up and get the thing out of there. And wouldn't you know, I guess the only thing I can figure is the bolts that hold the yoke onto the idler, that hold that grease cylinder onto the idler, must have broke, and that's probably what was wobbling, and it broke. So it pushed the idler back, and the cylinder went up over the idler, like up between the track. So I looked, I said, "Oh no, we got issues," you know. So I said, "Well, I'm gonna try and ease it around just so I can get it headed out. Maybe I can just ease it up onto the better skid road." And nope, I popped the track completely off it. So I'm gonna bring the excavator down. The only way I know to, you know, because you can't really lay the track out. There's nowhere to lay it out. It's just sitting in a shitty spot. So usually what I do is just take the dozer and like tip it over, you know, like 45 degrees with the excavator, and then throw some logs under it to hold it up so the track is suspended, you know, and then just I'll pull the idler and the hydraulic cylinder out, the grease cylinder out of it, and then, you know, just take the track, and then you can take with the excavator, you get the teeth under it, and you can kind of pry it up over the sprocket again. And what a pain in the ass. It's going to take a day to get it, you know, recovered by the time I dick around. What a pain in the butt. So I gotta do that. Now I gotta find a controller or build a little controller for that winch control thing. Whatever. Never ends, man. Just never ends. Probably my own worst enemy with this stuff, because, you know, it's like, oh, if you took the time to stop and fix everything right, yeah, I know. I mean, that's kind of my goal, but I can't. You know, you can't ever take the time, or you don't have the money. You know, things have been so tight for the last 3 or 4 years. They just don't have the resources to stop and, you know, pay a couple guys to just work on stuff. It's always, you know, patch it up and get to the next tree. You know, it's been rough, been a tough spell. We had a good decade, so I can't complain, I guess, but I still do. Well, she's getting dark now, boys. This camera still takes in a lot of light, because it's getting pretty dark. There I am winding down through the mountain roads here going home. Oh boy, it's slickery. What's this guy doing? Alright, so my house is up on yonder hill. I want to drive down in that canyon. My house is way up on that ridge. So here we go down Davis Hill. pretty good hill here. Used to make me nervous. Kids would have to ride this on the school bus, you know. They got it ashed pretty good now, but boy, I've seen this where it's just a sheet of ice. You want to go down it. You want to go down it. And if you get sliding, plan on hitting that ditch, and maybe getting woed, because you don't want to go off of that. Really over. It's not a terrible, but it's steep enough to roll a truck over. But I do love living out here. Need a better place on the planet in the summertime. Alright, well, I've chatted your eardrums off. Probably both of your ears are bleeding. Oh, I got a call from my buddy Sean Tatham up in Vermont. Oh, he texted me a picture of a thermometer. It said 44 below, and he says, she's accurate. I says, is that at night? He says, no, it's right now. And that was like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, are you shitting me? I says, wow. I says, he says, yeah, it's gonna get cold tonight. I said, you think? Huh? It's gonna drop way down. Yeah, from 44 below zero. How much colder can you get? Man, that's brutal. So, all right, I'll let you guys go. Hope you don't mind me chatting your ear off. I just kind of ad-libbing here, thinking of stuff that I wanted to say. All right, guys, ta-ta. Like, subscribe. Thanks for joining us on the old YouTube. Have a good week.